The Denver Nuggets have hit a rough patch, and it's starting to raise serious questions. After a strong start to the season with a 40-22 record, they've fallen off fast, losing 10 of their last 17 games. A team that looked like a top playoff contender now seems like they might end up in the play-in tournament. It's not just the losses, it's how they're losing. Even when Nikola Jokic plays like an MVP, the team still can't close games. In back-to-back games, Jokic has dropped huge numbers, over 40 points, double-digit rebounds, and assists, and the Nuggets still lost. Against the Warriors, he nearly had a triple-double, but the team fell short. In the Indiana game, it was the same story. They turned the ball over in the final minutes, missed key chances, and let the game slip away. These aren't just regular losses, they're games they should have won. It's frustrating to watch, especially when your star player is doing everything he can. Jokic is putting up ridiculous numbers, but the team around him keeps falling short. If this trend keeps up, Denver won't just lose their spot, they'll lose their shot at a deep playoff run. And the worst part, these losses are starting to look less like bad luck and more like signs of a deeper problem. Subscribe now, because real fans never miss a moment. Russell Westbrook wasn't expected to be a game changer in Denver. He signed a minimum contract, and most people thought he'd just bring some energy off the bench. And to be fair, he's had moments where he looked sharp. But when the game is on the line, the little mistakes hurt the most. And lately, some of those moments have come from Russ. One big example came at the end of the Minnesota game, when a bad turnover led to a 2-on-1 break the other way. The Nuggets never recovered. That one play didn't decide the whole season, but it was a turning point. Denver was in control, Jokic was rolling, and the team had a chance to take the win. But instead of finishing strong, a simple mistake flipped the momentum. It's the kind of slip-up that championship teams usually avoid. For a team already on edge, that mistake looked a lot bigger in the bigger picture. It's not just about Westbrook though, he's part of a bigger problem. The Nuggets are losing focus late in games, and everyone's feeling the pressure. One or two key errors, especially from a veteran, can be the difference between a win and another frustrating loss. And right now, those mistakes are starting to pile up. When you look around the league, most serious contenders have one thing in common: multiple stars and at least one top-level defender. Teams like Boston, Milwaukee, and even Oklahoma City have more than just scoring. They have players who can lock down on defense. Denver doesn't. Jokic is doing everything on offense, but he doesn't have another all-star next to him, and there's no true defensive anchor to clean up mistakes. The Nuggets used to have guys who made life hard for the other team's best scorers. Now, they don't have that edge. The front office let two of their best perimeter defenders walk, and there hasn't been anyone to replace them. That missing defense is showing up every night. Teams are getting easy shots, and Denver's effort on that end just isn't enough to stop it. A championship team needs balance. You can't just rely on one guy to carry both offense and defense. The Nuggets have one of the best players in the world, but not the pieces around him to match other top teams. Until they fix that, they're going to keep falling short, no matter how great Jokic plays. Last season, the Nuggets had the right mix of talent. It wasn't just Jokic. Guys like Bruce Brown and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope made a huge difference. They brought energy, hustle, and smart defense, especially in big moments. Those two were constantly flying around, guarding shooters, forcing turnovers, and doing all the dirty work that doesn't always show up in the box score. That edge is completely gone now. Without them, Denver's defense has taken a big step back. It's clear how much the team misses their presence. They helped set the tone, fighting for every loose ball, staying locked in on defense, and bringing intensity every night. That kind of effort is contagious, and without it, the team looks flat. Right now, no one has stepped up to fill that role, and it shows in the way they've been losing. The chemistry also feels off. Last year, everyone seemed to know their job, and the team played with a clear identity. Bruce Brown and KCP helped hold it all together. Since they've left, Denver has lost that rhythm. You can't replace that with just scoring or talent. You need players who lead by example on both ends of the floor, and right now, they just don't have those guys anymore. Denver's front office hasn't done this team any favors lately. After letting key defenders walk, they didn't use that cap space wisely. Instead, they handed out contracts to players who haven't helped much at all. Dario Saric was signed on a 2-year deal, even though he couldn't keep his spot in the Warriors' rotation. That kind of move doesn't make sense for a team trying to stay in championship form. Then there's Zeke Naji. He's barely known outside of hardcore fans, yet he's getting paid like a key piece. Together, Saric and Naji are making about $15 million, but they're not making $15 million worth of impact. That money could have been used to bring in role players who fit better, especially on defense. Instead, it's tied up in guys who aren't even playing meaningful minutes. The idea was to keep flexibility by not overpaying the old core, but that plan backfired. The bench is weaker, the defense is worse, and the team hasn't improved. In the end, letting go of reliable veterans to gamble on low-impact players has left this team with holes they still haven't filled, and now it's showing up every night on the court. Sometimes it's not just about stats or lineups, it's about mindset. After a tough loss to the Wizards, where Jokic scored 50 and they still couldn't win, he made a rare comment. He said that back in his home country, a performance like this would lead to a smaller paycheck as motivation. That's not just frustration talking, that's a superstar calling out his team's effort and focus. It's clear something is missing in the locker room. The energy isn't there. This team doesn't look hungry, and they don't play like a group chasing a title. Last year, they fought for every game. This season, there's a noticeable drop in intensity. That's not something you fix with a trade or a new play. It comes from within the team, and right now, they're not responding. Motivation and accountability matter, especially when you're trying to repeat as champions. The Nuggets have the talent at the top, but the heart of the team feels off. When even your best player starts hinting that effort is lacking, that's a red flag. Without a mental reset, this team might keep sliding, no matter how skilled they are. Nikola Jokić has been incredible on offense all season, but defense is where things get tricky. During last year's title run, he stepped up and showed he could hold his own. This year, that same effort hasn't always been there. In some games, he looks a step slow or just flat out uninterested on that end. Plays where he should challenge a shot or stay in front of a guy, he's just letting them go. There have been moments where he barely lifts his arms to contest shots or doesn't move his feet to stay in position. That's not about skill, that's effort. And while nobody expects him to be an elite rim protector, he has to at least make things harder for opponents. When your star plays relaxed on defense, it sets a tone for the rest of the team, and lately, that tone hasn't been good. Yes, he carries a massive load on offense, and yes, he's still the best player on the floor most nights. But that doesn't mean he's off limits from criticism. If Denver wants to turn things around, they need more from Jokic on defense. Not perfection, just consistent effort like he showed last season. Right now, that's missing, and it's hurting the team more than people want to admit. There's no question Nikola Jokić is one of the best players to ever play the game. His numbers this season are unreal. Triple doubles, efficient shooting, and total control of the offense. Even other stars like Anthony Edwards have gone out of their way to call him the best player they've ever seen up close. That's the kind of respect you only earn by being truly special. But even with all his talent, Jokic can't do it alone. The front office hasn't built the right team around him, the role players haven't stepped up, and the defense has taken a step back. That's a lot to overcome, even for someone as gifted as him. He's doing everything he can, but there's only so much one player can carry when the rest of the team isn't pulling their weight. In the end, this season isn't just a test of Jokic's greatness, it's a test of the entire organization. Do they have what it takes to fix the problems, bring back the edge they had last year, and make another title run, or will they waste the prime years of a once-in-a-generation talent? The clock's ticking, and the answers are coming fast.